It's the Pleasant Grove Vikings and the Skyridge Falcons set to get bracket play underway at the 2023 6A Baseball State Championships here at UCCU Ballpark. Hello everyone, my name is JT Wister, still excited to be with you for what figures to be a fantastic week of action here at Utah Valley University. It'll be the Vikings kicking it off against the Falcons. The Falcons, the top seed in our tournament, versus the 8th-seeded Pleasant Grove Vikings. These pair of Region 4 foes set to face off for what could be the final time. The loser of this game will move into our losers bracket. The winner will advance. Let's give you the starting lineups first. In the field for the Falcons, it's going to be Max Johnson at catcher, Chase Youngberg at first, Ty Evans is going to be at second, Ike Pickle at third, Isaac Johnson at short, Dalton Young in left field, Crew Sheck in center field, and Gavin Bauer in right field. And getting the start on the mound for the Falcons is Tyler Ball. Looking at the bats for Pleasant Grove then, leadoff hitters going to be R.J. Wilson, followed by Tua Wolfgram. Riker Shao will bat third, Tanner Christensen batting cleanup, followed by the designated hitter Hayden Zamboni. Slater Shao will bat sixth, followed by Tyler Gardner and Gabe McCoy and Jacob Baxter round out the order as we are set to get bracket play underway here. Skyridge had the first round bye, then beat Davis to land themselves in this opportunity. As for Pleasant Grove, they also had a first round bye and then defeated Taylorsville to place themselves in this position. R.J. Wilson, first up inside the batter's box. They face off against Ball. A big hack and a miss for strike number one. Ball delivers another that's fouled off hard into the Falcons dugout. Mentioned the Falcons, the top seed in our tournament. Currently 19-5 on the season, 15-11 overall. We'll have 4 games due up for you today, followed by 4 more tomorrow and 4 more on Wednesday, and potentially 2 on May 25th, being Thursday. High delivery there to Wilson. Falcons 13-3 in Region 4 play. Pleasant Grove 9-6. The top 2 teams from that region count currently 2-2. Wilson fouls another off. Wolfgram on deck. Shao in the hole for the Vikings. Ball gets the first strikeout of the day. What a start for the Falcons defense and for Ball.
The catcher, number 21, Tua Wolfgram.
That'll bring up Wolfgram. Wolfgram on the season so far, 5 home runs, 6 triples. He's brought in 27 runs, the most of anyone on the Vikings. Takes a hack and gets nothing there. High delivery as that one gets away from Ball. The 1-1 delivery. Wolfgram. That's the second strike through, so the count 2-2. Tyler Ball looking for his second consecutive strikeout. Instead, it's fouled off. Outside delivery by Ball will bring us to full count for the first time this tournament. Mentioned this Vikings team, 15-11 overall on the season. Scored 101 runs and allowed 85. Wolfgram goes down swinging. Back-to-back Ks for Ball.
The shortstop, number 5, Riker Scow.
Scow is going to have our first base hit of the day as that one deflects off the glove. And Scow thinking about stretching into a double, but forced to head back. So Riker Scow waits no time getting on base. That ground ball that breaks free into left field.
Left fielder, number 6, Tanner.
Was Isaac Johnson trying to make a diving play at it at short, but just reached just off his glove. Tanner Christensen now due up. Christensen grounds one. It's fielded cleanly. The force out at second is unsuccessful as that ball squeezed low, and it's going to allow Shao to get over to third. Wow! What a turnaround for the Vikings. Back-to-back base hits. It was Ike Pickle on third who fielded it cleanly and tried to get it over to second, but just slipped under the glove of Evans. So back-to-back base hits for Pleasant Grove. Now a runner firmly in scoring position in Shao on third as Christensen settled in at first. Now bring up the designated hitter, Hayden Zamboni. Slater, Shao on deck. If the Vikings can keep it going. It looked like it was going to be 3 up, 3 down, but then a little bit of changed momentum here. It's given the Vikings some opportunity. Strike delivery by Ball evens the count at 1-1. The winner of this game will advance to play the winner of our game between Mountain Ridge and Bingham, set to get underway at 1:30. Zamboni. Let's the outside pitch go through. Count goes to 2-1. Falcons need just 1 out to get at the bats. Zamboni takes a hack. Count will go to 2-2 with 2 runners on base. It's Shao situated on third and Christensen on first. Zamboni takes the pitch just to the outside. You could hear the groans from the Falcons fans as they thought they had strike 3 and were getting out of the inning. Instead, it's full count. And Christensen wisely heads over to second, just recognizing the opportunity he had as they didn't want to try to make the throw and risk Shao being able to score. So now 2 runners in scoring position, full count. Hayden Zamboni cracks one into foul territory. So we'll do the full count pitch once again. It was Wilson and Wolfgram who struck out. But then Schau and Christensen with those base hits gave the Vikings a glimmer of hope here in the top of the first to strike first. Zamboni. Strike three, so 3 strikeouts in the top of the first by Ball. The Vikings are forced to leave 2 runners stranded on base as the Falcons defense holds strong, and they're at the bats. When we return, you're watching KSL Sports Rewind.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an
Welcome back inside UCCU Ballpark. Falcons looking to be the first to strike after held in Pleasant Grove scoreless in the top of the first. Nearly let up a few runs, but they were able to hold strong. Jacob Baxter gets the start on the mound for the Vikings. Wolfgram at catcher, Gardner at first, Baxter at second, Wilson at third, Schau at shortstop, Christensen in left field, McCoy in center field, and Schau in right field. As for the Falcons, Dalton Young, the leadoff hitter, due up momentarily. Kruschek on deck. Isaac Johnson batting third. Tyler Ball, the pitcher, batting cleanup. Ike Pickle batting in the 5th spot, followed by Ty Evans, Gavin Bauer, Mason Thompson, and Chase Youngberg batting 9th. Falcons a very prolific offense overall in the season. 148 runs scored in total, 78 runs allowed, 13-3 the overall record in Region 4 play, 9-6 the conference record. 148 runs allowed just in region play. They scored over 221 runs overall in the season and only allowed 103. Young wisely doesn't bite on the high delivery. Saw some great pitching early on from Ball. We'll see if Baxter can follow it up with a strong performance of his own. There's a Pleasant Grove team on the season that scored 148 runs overall and allowed 131 in total. First strike delivered of the at-bat. 2-1 the count. Ball 2 evens the count at 2-2. Baxter wastes no time, delivers another. And it's fouled off. As Young will step out to reset.
Please return all foul balls to the nearest dugout.
Young resets. Low delivery brings us to full count. The first batter in Young, the left fielder, looking to be the first Falcon to reach base. Baxter looking for his first strikeout of the day. And he's got it. It's a strong start for Jacob Baxter as he's able to retire Dalton Young. And I'll bring up Kruschek. Skank now due up. It's the 4th meeting of the season between the Vikings and Falcons. The first was back in their series. They played on when it went stretched from Tuesday, April 18th. They also faced off on April 20th and April 21st, so just a little over a month ago. In that one, Skyridge won the first game 9-5, the second game 14-3, but the Vikings did respond and win the last game 12-4. So this is a Pleasant Grove team that's proven capable of getting an upset. 1-1 the count. Person currently facing Shank. No delivery for strike number 2. Could be in the midst of an early pitcher's duel here. As Baxter's looking for a second consecutive strikeout, trying to start the day just as Ball did with back-to-back Ks right here. Instead, it's fouled off, and we'll do it all again. Appreciate all of you for joining us on KSL Sports Rewind here. Once again, we're home for all things coverage when it comes to the 5A and 6A state baseball tournament. Dusty Lister has you covered down at BYU, and I'll be here all week at UVU recapping the 5A action. 2-2 count off that pitch delivery into the dirt. Region 4, one of the top regions in pretty much every sport in the state. No different when it comes to baseball. And strike number 3. Wow. Shank goes down watching. Frustrated as he heads back to the dugout. What a start for Jacob Baxter. Nearly allowed Young to reach base via the walk, but was able to fight his way back in the count. And now sits in a position here where he's one strikeout away from getting his team back up to bat. Now, as I was saying, when it comes to Region 4, I mentioned the Falcons, the top-seeded team in our tournament with that 19-5 record. Pleasant Grove not far behind them. That 15-11 record overall. Also going to be in action here is going to be American Fork, 15-10 on the season, and Westlake, 12-18. Those two teams will face off against each other at 4:30 later today. Isaac Johansson now due up. One and one the count. 2 outs, no one on base. Beautiful strike delivery that time from Baxter. Now just one pitch away from 3 consecutive strikeouts to retire the Falcons' prolific offense, the highest scoring offense by a wide margin, or excuse me, just by 2 runs, but far surpassing what the Vikings have, 221 to 148 in terms of runs scored. And going down swinging and being retired is Johansson. What a start for Baxter and Ball. Both pitchers dialed in early. Can they keep it up? Stay with us on KSL Sports Rewind to find out.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
The right fielder, number 26, Slater Scow.
Braden Marks looking sharp on the mound for the Vikings in that previous inning. Apologize for earlier saying it was Baxter, but Braden Marks, a man with 3 strikeouts. And speaking of guys with 3 strikeouts, it's exactly what Tyler Ball has. It'll be Slater Shaw, Tyler Gardner, and Gabe McCoy all due up here. Top of the second. 2-0 the count. Zamboni struck out to leave 2 runners stranded on base for the Vikings. Shao cracks one, but it's directly to second baseman Ty Evans, who easily makes the out. As the low line drive is retired. Bring up Tyler Gardner now.
Tyler Gardner.
Mentioned this Vikings team, they've lost to Skyridge twice on the season. Pleasant Grove against Taylorsville won the first game against the Warriors 15-0, and then was able to claim the second game 3-2 by a narrow advantage to not force a third game. Falcons took care of business against Davis, 11-1 in the first game, and then 7-2 in the second. One, 2 the count. Tyler Ball looking for yet another strikeout. Gardner fouls it off to stay alive. As we said, the winner of this game will go on to play the winner of the Mountain Ridge Bingham game, the 5 and 13 seeded matchup. And then tomorrow we'll have the loser will go on to play the loser of that game. Gardner goes down swinging. 4th strikeout of the day for Ball.
The center fielder, number 7, Gabe McCoy.
Gabe McCoy now due up. 2 outs in the inning, no one on. This is where we saw the Vikings make their last rally. Look to do so again here. With Baxter on deck and Wilson in the hole, the top of the order for Pleasant Grove if we reach that far. Dead center delivery from Ball for strike number 1. That one just to the outside here. The Falcons fans once again frustrated, thought that was another strike. 1-1 the count. Both fan bases for the Vikings and Falcons showing up in good support. Taking a hack and getting nothing was Gabe McCoy there. Ball once again in great position to get the top-seeded Falcons out of the inning. The 1-2 pitch. And it's fouled off by McCoy to stay alive. McCoy fouls another off to stay alive. Those 103 points allowed are one of the best marks from any team we've seen in the 6A classification this year by the Falcons. They're the only team in the region not to allow over 125 runs. And swinging on the high pitch was McCoy. So 5 strikeouts in just 2 innings already for Ball, who is absolutely balling here early. We'll see if the Falcons can convert some defense into offense when we return on KSL Sports Rewind.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Braden Marks was magnificent in the bottom of the first. 3 consecutive strikeouts. And now be due up to face off against his fellow pitcher, Tyler Ball, Ike Pickle, and Ty Evans. All due up here as the Falcons look to break our tie and advance to tomorrow's winner's bracket game. That game scheduled for 7 o'clock tomorrow, where the winner of this game will be taking on the winner of the game between Mountain Ridge and Bingham, due up this afternoon. Tyler Ball has been really strong on the mound. Already 5 strikeouts on the day. We'll see if he can get his bat hot here, facing off against Marks. Ball swings on the first pitch, gets nothing. Ball swings on back-to-back pitches, and the same result. Curley trailing in the count 0-2. Marks a 6-3 record on the season. And already has 4 strikeouts through 4 batters faced as he takes down Ball in 3 straight pitches.
Third baseman, number 20, Ike Pickle.
Marks looking really sharp early as he's locked in. Ike Pickle looking to change that, the third baseman for the Falcons. Pickle fouls one off. Pickle on the season in 25 at-bats. Or excuse me, in 25 games played. 3 home runs. Barely behind in the count. 1-2 now. His 29 runs brought in are among the best on the team. Tyler Ball, by far the leader for team in runs brought in at 38, was just retired. And Pickle doesn't need to swing on the high delivery that time as it just got away from Marks. Two the count here early. And Pickle goes down swinging. That is now 5 straight strikeouts for Braden Marks. Our 2 pitchers have combined for 10 strikeouts, and we're not even through 2 innings. But there are 2 outs in the bottom of the second currently. Ty Evans looking to get the first hit of the day for the Falcons. Evans took a big swing, but got nothing that time. Vikings credited with just 1 hit at the moment. And then that second one currently charged as an error against the Falcons as they couldn't field it cleanly at second. Evans takes a hack at another. 0-2 the count. Six straight strikeouts. Can he do it? You bet. Braden Marks, what a performance here early. All strikeouts. The Vikings infield and outfield got to be getting a little bored as they watch their pitcher do his thing. We're heading to the 3rd inning. Still knotted at 0.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
We're in the midst of quite the pitching duel here early at UCCU Ballpark. Ball already on the day with 5 strikeouts, 6 on the day overall for Braden Marks. We've reached the last batter in the order for the Vikings, and it's going to be Jacob Baxter. Gardner and McCoy both retired via back-to-back strikeouts. Vikings did get 2 hits early on. One of them made it by an error too, but they left 2 stranded on base. That one collided with the net and nearly took off one of the heads of the Vikings, but they appear to be okay. Ball 7-0, the record for him on the season when getting the start on the mound. He's got 10 home runs too, so Ball just really a strong hitter, although was retired in 3 straight pitches by Marks. 0-2 the count. And now 3 straight strike deliveries has led to 2 straight foul-offs, and 0-2 the count. Top of the 3rd here. Ball in the Falcons defense, looking to remain sharp. First ball delivery of the at-bat. And Baxter goes down watching. Now 6 strikes for Ball on the day. So both pitchers with 6 strikeouts here early. We've had just 1 hit and 1 error overall. R.J. Wilson due up for the 2nd time now. Wilson grounds one right off the mound. It's fielded. Oh, couldn't quite squeeze it in, but either way, it'll be an RBI. It'll be a single, excuse me. So Wilson situated on first on the well-hit grounder off the mound.
The catcher, number 21, Tua Wolfgram.
So Tua Wolfgram now due up. Last time we saw Wolfgram, he struck out, but that was exactly how it was for Wilson too. Last time we saw him, he struck out, and we just saw him get a base hit. 1 out in the inning after Baxter just was retired. Wilson on the season's brought in 14 runs for his team. Has 2 doubles too. And 3 homers, now in a chance of being driven in by his teammate Wolfgram. Wolfgram on the season, 27 runs brought in. Highest mark on the team. Last time we saw him, he struck out. Also owns 6 doubles and 6 triples with 5 home runs too and 26 games played overall. Wolfgram 0-1 in the count currently. Goes to 0-2 after taking a hack there. Ball resets, looking for his 7th K of the day. And trying to leave more runners stranded on base after doing so in the top of the 1st. Pickoff attempt down to first, unsuccessful. As Wilson safely dives over. 2 hits on the day here early for the Vikings. Technically 3, but the one was an error by the Falcons. Falcons still in the hunt for their first hit. Wolfgram rips one into foul territory. Fighting to stay alive. trying to avoid being the first batter of the day to strike out twice. Riker Schau on deck. He had the first base hit of the day for the Vikings, or for either side. Wolfgram fouls it off into the net. To a Wolfgram. Awaits the 0-2 pitch from Ball. And he goes down swinging for the second consecutive at-bat. 7 strikeouts for Tyler Ball here early. And I'll bring up Riker Schau. His previous plate appearance. Schau lifts it one into left field on a well-hit ground ball. Two outs now. Vikings trying to break this tie that's currently knotted at 0. Ball. Delivers the pitch dead center for strike number 1. Schau resets. Schau 16 runs brought in on the season. Outside delivery there. For ball number 1. Schau 1 home run, 2 triples, 7 doubles. 7 doubles, the most by anyone on the Vikings. Doing so here could potentially give Wilson the opportunity to score. See Max makes his way out from behind the catcher's mound for the first time today. Whatever Joe Howson and Ball talked about worked out well. 1-2 the count. Schau trying to avoid going down swinging. I guess second base hit of the day here. 1-2 the count. And he's retired via the strikeout. That's 7 now. All ready for Ball. And there's another pitcher ready to retake the mound, who's also been really strong when it comes to strikeouts. That's Braden Marks. We'll see what he has coming up when we return on KSL Sports Rewind. You're watching the 2023 State Baseball Championship Tournament.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
It's been 3 Falcons up, 3 Falcons down through 2 innings at the bats. Looking to change that is going to be Gavin Bauer, Mason Thompson, and Chase Youngberg. All due up for the first time. 8 strikeouts. I misspoke when we left the top of the second. It's 8 strikeouts actually for Ball so far. And we've seen 6 here early for Marks. Marks mentioned that 6-3 record for him overall on the season when taking the mound. Looking to improve on that here early. Bauer falls to 0-2 in the count. Make it 1-2. Bauer looking to be the first Skyridge player to get a base hit today. He rocks one into right field, but it's just going to end up in foul territory. Bauer on the season. He's brought in 10 runs, 2 doubles, no triples, and no home runs. Looking to boom one here to get the bats hot and avoid being the 7th consecutive strikeout by Marks. It's a ground ball. Fielded cleanly on the chopper. Hesitating for a moment that time after coming off of first was Gardner, but then able to get it over to Marks, who's able to cover up on first. And it's not a strikeout, but it's an out nonetheless. That'll bring up Mason Thompson, the designated hitter.
The designated hitter, number 14, Mason Thompson.
Thompson on the season. 18 runs brought in. 8 doubles, 1 triple, and 1 home run, too. Thompson allows the high delivery to pass. Falcons, one of the most prolific offenses, not just in Region 4, but in the state, in danger of going through their entire order without no one reaching base so far here early or without even getting a hit. One the count with 1 out. Making 1-2 on the outside delivery. No walks here early either for both these pitchers who have been absolutely outstanding. So we're just about 3 complete innings through this one. 2-1 the count. Thompson allows strike 2 to go through. Count now at 2-2. Marks looking for strikeout number 7. Can he get it here? Thompson wisely doesn't swing, brings this to a full count. Vikings faithful thought that was a strike. Thompson is the first batter to walk today for either side as the designated hitter is headed to first.
Playing first base, number 4, Chase Youngberg.
Chase Youngberg now due up with just 1 out in the inning. Youngberg on the season. 8 runs brought in. If you could get a hold of this one, has an opportunity to do so. 1 double. The first baseman, the last batter in the order for the Falcons before we turn it back over to Dalton Young and Krushenk. Marks delivers a low ball to even the count at 1. Thompson on first. Ryan Roberts has led Skyridge to a lot of success this season. That 19-5 record, as we mentioned, 7 years with the program, 117 wins and 57 career losses overall, but reached the 100-win mark this season as another's fouled off. Darren Henry leads Pleasant Grove, 13 years of experience, 226 wins, and 120 career losses overall. Both these coaches, two of the most respected in not just Region 4, but the 6A classification and state. One, two, the count. Bottom of the third, we remain knotted at 0. Falcons looking to change that here. Youngberg rips one in the right field. It sails in the air and is going to drop perfectly. And because of the confusion, Thompson's going to head over to third, and Thompson easily able to reach base. What a big hit by the last batter in the order for the Falcons, as Youngberg rocked one in the right center field. Gonna bring up Dalton Young. Young, 18 runs brought on the season, also 9 doubles, 3 triples, and 3 home runs. Just one out, and if he could really get a hold of this one, as an opportunity to give the Falcons not just a lead, but a comfortable one. Young struck out in his first plate appearance. Braden Marks so strong early on. So 2 runners on base. Young looking to bring him home. Bringing the heat, but that ball had gotten away from Wolfgram for a moment, and that allows Youngberg to easily make it over to second. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Skyridge. The count. Braden Marks so strong early. Through the first 6 batters he faced, he struck all of them out. And they hadn't allowed a hit until he faced the 9th batter in the order for the top-seeded Falcons. Marks able to get back on track with that strike delivery there, even the count at 1. 18 runs brought in, tied for 3rd overall by a Falcon. That Young has. Outside delivery that time. Ball number 2. Young, the left fielder. Takes a hack, frustrated that time as he goes to 2-2 in the count. Young calls for a time. Thought he was ready for it, but taking an extra second. Still just 1 out. Kushek on deck. Young fouls it off to stay alive. Gotta imagine even a sacrifice, even one from smash into the outfield, a sacrifice fly would bring in Thompson. Young refocuses, taps home plate, and is ready for the pitch. Mark, so many strikeouts today in key moments. Can he get one here? Young goes down swinging. The second consecutive time that Young has struck out at the hands of Braden Marks. Marks needs just 1 more K, and overall the Vikings need just 1 more out to leave 2 runners stranded on for the Falcons. Back in the top of the first, it was the Vikings who ended up leaving 2 stranded on base. The Falcons retired them with 2 runners on the base paths. High delivery to Shank. Shank goes to 2-1 in the count. Or excuse me, just 2-0. Strike call there. The Falcons faithful do not agree with it. Shank on the season, 27 runs brought in, second most on the team in that category, and a great opportunity to add more here. 6 doubles, 3 triples. Currently heading the count 3-1. Marks trying not to load the base pads. Instead, it's a ground ball. It's fielded cleanly. Baxter makes the play over to first and gets the Vikings out of the inning. They have a few base hits for the first time today, but at the end result is still the same as the Falcons. Unfortunately, 2 stranded on, and we still remain scoreless heading into the 4th. Stay with us on KSL Sports Rewind at UCCU Ballpark.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Vikings fans in disbelief. It originally looked like he was going to try to turn and head over to second, but because it was wisely played by, it was a good job by the outfield for the Falcons that time. It was Gavin Bauer who came over to field it, and you can see a really frustrated Christensen heading back over. And you can currently see right now the Vikings trying to plead their case. They're trying to say he was off first. It was a tough call. It was a close call. It looked like, for my vantage point, he was safe, but it was close as the umpires are going to come together and talk things over. They're going to try to hold the Vikings coaches back right now, who are absolutely irate over that decision. But Christensen with a successful bunt that time, and then it was Pickle who came off of third to try to field it. He had to make a throw on the move and in the air as he just tried to rush it. It was off target, and Youngberg couldn't grab it, but Bauer did a good job coming up behind to cover any of those kind of errant throws in that situation. It was good defensive rotation by the Falcons, and then they were able to get it back over to first, and they're currently talking about if the tagout was successful at first. And the longer these discussions go, then often it means they're going to change their call, but obviously talking about what they saw right now. Event of a tie, it obviously goes to a runner. That one looked like, you could argue a tie. I thought that Christensen had it, personally, from my vantage point, but it's definitely a close call. As we see our umpires still huddled up talking about it at the moment, waiting a decision from them. A reminder, too, in an hour and a half, we'll have our second game of bracket play as the call will stay as called. So Christensen retired at first. What a chaotic start to the fourth. Vikings still trying to plead their case and talk things over a little bit, but it's not going to amount to anything. Hayden Zamboni now grew up. Last time we saw the designated hitter, he struck out and ended up leaving 2 Vikings on base. Looking to turn things around here with 1 out, and nearly had 1 on. As Vikings mentioned, still trying to plead their case, but it's going to be unsuccessful. It's a thing coaches can try and talk about it all they want, but these umpires in any sport, refs, umpires, officials, whatever you want to call them, really don't change their mind, especially after they've come together to make that kind of a decision. I understand the coaches just want an expiration, but it's not going to change the outcome. 3 hits overall in the day now for the Vikings. 1 for the Falcons in that previous inning. Zamboni fouls 1 off. Zamboni on the season, 25 runs brought in, good for second on the team. 4 doubles and 2 home runs. Doing a home run here would break our nothing tie early. Instead, he'll go down swinging. So it started out with such a promising inning for the Falcons. If you go back to what just looked like a wild throw that time from Pickle, it looked like that. If anything, Shao or Christensen, was going to be able to make it over to second. Instead, he's retired at first, then Zamboni strikes out, and now Slater Shao now do it. Shao fouls off the first pitch. Shao on the season, 7 runs brought in, 2 doubles. Then they get the Vikings to mount another 2-out rally as they did successfully in the top of the first, but they weren't able to score any runs off it. Gardner on deck. This one lifted into center field, and there's no one there to cover it up. So taking a base hit is Slater Shao. Perfect placement that time, and one of the few balls we've had that's reached the outfield here early. So Tyler Gardner now due up. Still 2 outs in the inning, though. Gardner on the season's brought in 9 runs. If he could really get a hold of this one, he'd have a chance to, but still 2 outs, so he's got to be careful. Also 2 doubles, 26 games played. And that one gets away from Johansson. So Max Johnson resets. Johnson, the 2025 catcher, standing at 5'6", 130 pounds. Resets, and amidst all that chaos, Shao, able to head over to second. Ball finds the zone, leaving the count at 1-1. Ball 1 strikeout away from 10. Currently 1-1 the count. Gardner takes a hack, gets nothing. Ball now just one pitch away from strikeout number 10. And getting his team out of the fourth inning and back at the bats where they had by far their most success in the bottom of the third. They'll look to recapture some of that and put some runs on the board here. Gardner goes down swinging. Tyler Ball, 10 strikeouts already. Falcons defense dialed in. We'll see if they can get their offense on track when we come back at Utah Valley University. Falcons left 2 runners stranded on base the last time we saw them. Maybe Isaac Johansson, Tyler Ball, and Ike Pickle all due up, looking to turn things around as we remain knotted up at 0. Bottom of the fourth set to get underway. Could be heading for our final 3 innings scoreless. We've been flying by at a blistering pace here early. Just over an hour played now in this contest. Braden Marks gave up his first couple of hits, or gave up a walk, excuse me, and a hit in the previous inning, but really got himself back on track. Left those 2 runners stranded on base, and now we'll see if Johansson, Ball, and Pickle, who are all due up, can break the tie. Johansson, 12 runs brought in on the season. Launches one in the left field. That is easily collected by Christensen. So Johansson swings on the first pitch and is retired on it. That'll bring up Tyler Ball. Ball, as we mentioned, such a prolific hitter. 38 runs brought in total, 7 doubles, 4 triples, and by far a team-leading 4 home runs. One out now already in the bottom of the fourth. Ball, last time we saw him, struck out in 3 straight pitches. 1-1 the count currently. Second time we've seen the 2 pitchers face off here today. Marks looking to strike out Ball for a second consecutive time. It's got him in the count, 1-2. Marks wastes no time, ready to fire the pitch. Ball wisely watches that one pass. Count now at 2-2. Ball fouls it off to stay alive. A little late on at that time. Ball cracks one in the shallow left field. It's a base hit, just the second of the day for Skyridge. McCoy came over from center to scoop it up. It was kind of hit in left center field, more so we'll say. Either way, 1 runner on base now. Just one out. This is the exact same situation we saw play out in the previous inning. We'll see if Ike Pickle can make something happen. He also struck out in the last time we saw him, part of that string of 6 consecutive strikeouts. Pickle, 29 runs brought in on the season. It's good for second on the team overall. 8 doubles. Second on the team in that category. 2 triples and 3 home runs. Wisely dodges that delivery there to even the count at 1-1. Pickle, the third baseman, ready for the delivery from Marks. Off attempt down to first, unsuccessful as ball dives and able to keep a hand on the base pad. 1-2 the count. 7 strikeouts for Marks. Looking for number 8 on this delivery. Two pitchers have combined for 17 strikeouts here early. Marks versus Pickle to foul it off to stay alive. Pickle steps out for a moment as we'll do a quick ball swap. Great weather here at the ballpark. Almost no wind out there. A nice sunny day. Great weather for some baseball as we get bracket play underway. This one's fouled off. So the count will remain at 1-2. That's Pickle. Marks checks ball at first. Refocuses his attention to home plate and set for the 1-2 delivery. And Pickle goes down watching. Second consecutive at-bat. He struck out today. Ty Evans now drew up. Evans struck out the last time we saw him. Doing so here would get the Vikings out of the inning. Falcons looking to extend it. Evans, 14 runs brought in on the season, 5 doubles and a home run. Evans took a big hack, squeezed it, deflected off his bat and into the glove of Wolf Graham, who collects it. We've seen very few batters today even be able to put the ball in play with how sharp the pitching has been here early. And speaking of sharp pitches, that was a strong delivery that time by Braden Marks, who's just 1 away from his 8th now. So it's fouled off by Evans. Excuse me, Marks actually 1 away from his 9th strikeout now. That would give us a combined 19 strikeouts between Ball and Marks here early. Ball just got a base hit. He settled in on first. Ball going for second. It's going to be close. In fact, I don't think he got there as he was tagged out and retired. A great throw by Wolf Graham to the put out, hooking up with Baxter, who came over to cover second. So Ty Evans will still be due up when we return to the Falcons. But first, it's the Vikings. Game is underway at the top of the 5th. Don't go anywhere. You're watching KSL Sports Radio. Hello everyone, and welcome back inside the UCCU ballpark, normally the home of the Wolverines, but this week the home of the 2023 6A State Baseball Championship Tournament. I'm JT Mr. So excited to be with you all week long here. Gabe McCoy, Jacob Baxter, and RJ Wilson all due up, looking to break our tie. 3 innings to go in our matchup between the top-seeded Skyridge Falcons and the 8th-seeded Vikings. A reminder, our second game of the day is going to be between the 5th-seeded Mountain Ridge Seminoles and the 13th-seeded Bingham Flyers. Last time we saw McCoy, he struck out, looking to avoid being the 11th strikeout of the day. So 18 strikeouts between our 2 pitchers combined. Ball with 10 strikeouts through 4 innings. One and one the count. McCoy takes a big hack, gets nothing. Now count goes to 1-2. McCoy, 6 runs brought in and 1 double on the season. Wisely watches the outside delivery that time. Ball yet to walk a batter today. Marks by comparison, so only done it once. The 2-2 delivery. And McCoy, for the second consecutive time, strikes out. 11 now strikeouts for Tyler Ball, who is still balling on the mound. Jacob Baxter now due up. He also struck out the last time we saw him. So it'll be Baxter, and then we'll turn it over to the top of the order, where RJ Wilson currently waits. 4 hits on the day for Pleasant Grove, 2 on the Falcons. Falcons also charged with 1 error that allowed the Vikings to reach second, but they were able to make sure they left 2 runners stranded on base. Baxter shows bunt, pulls back at the last second. He's drove in 8 runs on the season overall, Baxter. Baxter pulls back the bunt. But it was a strike, so 1-2 the count now. Ball looking to get the Falcons back at the bats. Got to be frustrated after being retired, trying to steal second. Taking out those frustrations here. Ball's chopped, ends up in foul territory. Talked about our game between Mountain Ridge and Bingham, but we'll also have more games on deck for you today here, as we'll have Westlake taking on American Fork at 4:30, our matchup between our 15th and 7th seeds in our 6A Baseball State Championship Tournament. And then to close out day 1 will be Riverton taking on Syracuse. Strike number 3 is pure by ball. Baxter is retired again. So McCoy and Baxter have combined for 4 strikeouts here early. In fact, we are now all the way through 2 complete rotations of the batting order, with Wilson coming back up again. Wolfgram, Zamboni, Gardner, McCoy, and Baxter have all been struck out. So 5 different batters overall have been struck out, each twice by Ball. He's up to 12 strikeouts now on the day, facing off against Wilson. Wilson, the last time we saw him, struck out. And then, the first time we saw him struck out, but the last time we saw him, he had a well-hit grounder that bounced off the pitcher's mound and allowed him to reach first base. Currently trails in the count 0-2, though, with 2 outs. Wilson takes ball 1. It looked like that Johansson had thought that was going to be a strikeout. Looked like he had kind of turned to head back to the dugout, but instead we'll do it again. Ball high on the delivery to even the count at 2-2. Ball is looking for what would be his 4th consecutive strikeout and his 13th overall. Another outside delivery there. Bring us to full count now. So Ball lost control a little bit. It's been so strong today, though. Wilson with one of the few base hits the Falcons have given up. And Wilson, looks like he took that one off the 5. So the first time we've seen either pitcher hit a player with a ball. We were at full count that time around, so it'll be interesting to look back on it and see if something changes here. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner going down to first as well. And that pinch runner coming in for the Vikings. It's going to be Drake Terry. So Terry takes his place, and we'll have our first mound meeting of the day as the Falcons infield comes together. Oh, we have an opportunity. We'll tell you a little bit more about how the Falcons reached this position. Started off their season struggling a little bit as they lost to Riverton 6-2, then tied Maple Mountain 2-2, but then really unloaded on Desert Hills, beating them 23-4 overall. They would then fall to Payson, but then get on track, rattling off wins against Salem Hills, Ridgeline, Copper Hills, Westlake. Those games against Westlake especially, they scored 20 runs, 16 runs, and then 5 runs while only holding Westlake to 8 runs in 4 games. Excuse me, they also scored 21 in one of the final ones too. So they really rounded into form come region play. We already mentioned their series with the Vikings a little bit, in which they claimed the series overall 2-1, losing the final game 12-4 before 2 impressive wins. Against Corner Canyon, they split some games with the Chargers, winning the first one, losing the second, but then claiming the third. Then taking on Lone Peak. They were also able to emerge victorious in that series before taking on American Fork to round out regular season play. They beat the Cavemen in all 3 of the contests they faced off against them. And then they dominated Davis 11-1 in the first game and 7-2 in the second, and placed themselves in this position to take on the Vikings. Ball still on the mound after the lengthy discussion there. Still 2 outs. Tua Wolfgram due up. Wolfgram back-to-back strikeouts. The catcher looking to turn things around here. With a runner on first. Kickoff attempt down to first, unsuccessful. Drake Terry, the 2025, or excuse me, just the sophomore. 5'11", 170. This one blasted into foul territory. As some kids nearly tried to make a play on it, but wisely avoided as that one was coming in pretty hot.
Please return all foul balls to the nearest dugout.
0-1 the count after Wolfgram launched that one. Mentioned Ball undefeated on the season. 7-0 in total. Looking to go to 8-0 today, and if something were to happen, they were to fall in this one, it'd be hard to fault him after he's had 12 strikeouts so far and hunting for number 13 here. Although he delivers his first ball of the at-bat, bringing the count to 1-1. Wolfgram takes a hack, gets nothing. Goes to 1-2 in the count. Vikings have left a couple runners on base today, 4 in total. Looking to avoid doing so here. Ball with the delivery just the outside, even the counts at 2-2. It's 2 outs. And Drake Terry, the sophomore, situated at first, representing the leading run. Wolfgram pops it up in the air, called for, and waiting on it, collected, as that one seemed to hang in the air forever. But eventually Chase Youngberg comes off first to grab it, so the Vikings forced to leave another runner stranded on base. The Falcons' defense continues to be sharp, led by the 12 strikeouts we've seen so far from Kyler Ball. We'll see if the Falcons can take a lead as we remain knotted at 0, bottom of the 5th, on deck.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Welcome back inside UCCU Ballpark. Our pitching duel continues. It'll be Gavin Bauer, Mason Thompson, and Chase Youngberg, the back of the Falcons order, all due up to face off against the Vikings. We talked to you about how Skyridge landed in this position. Now we'll do the same, telling you about the Vikings and what they've been able to do on this. Pleasant Grove started out their season looking sharp with a couple wins against Fremont and Crimson Cliffs, but then lost a close one to a school they took out when they traveled out to Colorado, Nevada. Overall, in the Nevada trip, they went 0-3 on the season, but gained good experience as they were able to take on Arizona after that, too, and get an out-of-state win. Then headed to California. A lot of out-of-state opponents for the Vikings, as I mentioned. Fremont and Harriman, really, they're only ones they played in-state, so really interesting experience for them overall. Getting to go out of state and get those great opportunities to play ball in other states. Then when it came to region play against American Fork, they ended up losing the series to the Cavemen, lost the series to the Falcons, also lost the series, or beat Lone Peak after losing the first game. Then against Westlake, dominated the Thunder in a few games. Against Corner Canyon, they were also able to claim the series and then beat Taylorsville to place themselves in this position. They outscored the Warriors by a score of 18-2 overall in those two games. Now find themselves in this situation, knotted up at 0. Bauer fouls it off, unplayable. To the count early. In a game like this, all it takes is one play, one pitch, change the momentum, but it's not going to come for Gavin Bauer as he goes down swinging. Or Ty Evans.
Designated hitter, number 14, Mason Thompson.
So that was Bauer, check that, who did go down swinging, and now Mason Thompson due up. Thompson takes a hack, gets nothing. Last time we saw Thompson was able to reach base via the walk, the designated hitter for the Falcons. Thompson fouls another back into the fence. Thompson on the season, 18 runs brought in, 8 doubles, triple and a home run. It's the kind of game where it could just take one home run to really change things. Falcons trying to take a lead here and then hope they don't have to bat one more time in the 7th, and their defense can just hold strong like it has for so much of this one. 1-2 the count. Thompson reached on it but pulled back. Or was dropped. It'll be the drop 3 strikeout, and they're able to make the play over the first. So back-to-back outs now. As this defensive battle continues. It'll be Chase Youngberg now due up. Last time we saw Youngberg, he had the lone base hit in the first go-around for the Falcons after he ripped one into right field. Since him, only Tyler Ball has had a base hit. Falcons talking about how they want to play this one. See what Coach Roberts is thinking. Youngberg. That's the outside delivery from Mark's pass. And a reminder, we're just about an hour away from getting our second game underway between the Miners and Sentinels, so make sure you guys stay with us on KSL Sports for that one, and the other 2 games we'll have on action for you. Youngberg lets another low delivery go through. Or excuse me, that was a strike, so 1-2 the count. Marks 1 pitch away from getting the Vikings out of it. It's a slow roller grounder that's fielded cleanly. They'll flip it over to Marks, who steps on first to retire Youngberg for the first time today. So once again, the Vikings defense holds strong. Both defense holding strong. We've played 5 innings, no runs, just 6 combined hits here early. 6 coming up. We'll see which of these teams can take a lead. If it will be the Falcons or the Vikings. Stay with us on KSL Sports Rewind to find out.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Riker Schau, Tanner Christensen, and Hayden Zamboni all due up to try to break our tie. We've played 5 innings so far. Both sides have left a few runners on base, but for the most part, it's been the pitching of Ball and then Marks that have been the difference here early. Both pitchers have combined for over 15 strikeouts. In fact, Ball himself, both pitchers have combined for over 20 strikeouts. Ball himself currently sits with 12 through 5. Riker Schau due up last time we saw him. Struck out, but before that, had a well-hit grounder that reached left field and allowed him to reach base. 2-0 the count currently. On the count off the low delivery. Ball. See the time called. So I'll reset and do it again. Outside delivery from Ball makes it 2-2. Or excuse me, 3-1. Ball's yet to walk a batter today. Did hit R.J. Wilson in the last go-around of the batting order. But still no walk surrendered. And it'll be full count in a moment. So Ball looking for his 13th strikeout of the day. Shao looking for a second base hit. It's a high-flying chopper that's easily collected on first by Youngberg, and he'll tap the bag.
Left fielder, number 6, Tanner Chris Jansen.
So not a strikeout, but obviously one the Vikings will still be happy with. Tanner Christensen now due up, 1-0 the count. These offenses, both on the season, combined to score over 300 runs. Or excuse me, over 350 runs, but today just haven't been able to find that same success. 2-0 the count once again for Ball. We saw him fight his way back last time. Christensen was retired on that controversial. He had that bunt. Looked like he was going to be able to make it to base safely at first, but then there was the confusion and everything that happened, and looked like he just wasn't able to dive back safely to first. That was a controversial call at the time. Played big dividends now. 3-1 the count as the Falcons fans not pleased with that call. Did reach base in his first plate appearance on a well-hit grounder. This one's chopped, fielded cleanly by Johansson, but the speed of Christensen beats the throw. Base runner on for the Vikings. Coach Ball is going to take another meeting on the mound. Let's talk things over. See, both these pitchers really have thrown a number of balls so far here early. Neither side has anyone working in the bullpen. So it looks like the game is still firmly in the hands of Ball and Marks. And both these pitchers, as we said, just been lights out for so much today. Just to combine 7 hits overall. Skyridge has surrendered 5, but no runs. The Vikings only surrendered 2, but no hits in that department either. So what an early going it's been so far. As we mentioned, for Skyridge too, this is a team that on the season 221 runs scored, 103 runs allowed in total, 19-5 in region. Overall in the season, 13-3 in region play. Our infield meeting is wrapping up, and we're set to resume play momentarily.
Pinch running for Pleasant Grove at first base, number 27, Rex Harwood.
It's going to be a pinch runner at first for the Vikings.
Hitter, number 25, Hayden Zamboni.
As Hayden Zamboni, the designated hitter, now due up. Just one out in the inning. Oh, 1 the count currently. Zamboni waits to get the calls from coach. He steps into the batter's box. Leading run on first. Vikings looking to pull off the upset. As I mentioned, the defense has been really sharp here early. Or excuse me, just for the entire duration of this game, honestly. It's not really early anymore as we're in the top of the 6th. Zamboni struck out the last 2 times we saw him, in danger of doing so again. Currently 0-2 in the count. Zamboni wisely doesn't swing on the outside delivery. This ball tries to bring the heat. Talked about it so far today, how many runners have been left on by the Vikings versus the Falcons. They've left a few on too, but not as many as the Vikings. Feels like a great opportunity to change the momentum here with just 1 out. Ball. Says check it down to first again. So you have a little bit of a gear thing as we try to get it over. Give something to our pinch runner. It looks like he's taking his belt off his teammates. So, teammates always say they'll give you the shirt off their back and the belts as well. As Rex Harward, the sophomore, situated on first, is fixing his belt. So 1-2 the count as Harward is adjusting. Just over an hour away from our second game, as we discussed, between the Miners and Sentinels. Should be a fun one here, as they will be all week long on KSL Sports Rewind, your home for the 6A and 5A state baseball championships. Zamboni rips one into foul territory. One, two, the count. That one deflects off the glove of the rising Johansson. Brings the count to 2-2 now. Zamboni resets. And that one deflects off the knee pad of Johnson. It's going to easily allow Harward to make it over to second. So we'll have full count coming up as Ball just lost control of it. So 2 strikeouts early today. Zamboni in his first strikeout left 2 runners on base for the Vikings, one of which was firmly in scoring position. Ball looking for K number 13, and he won't find it on that pitch on the inside delivery. So 2 runners on base and just 1 out. So Zamboni, the first walk of the day, surrendered by Ball. So Slater Scow now due up. And it looks like we're going to have another pinch runner with Rex Harwood on second. As we wait to see who that runner is going to be. Lengthy discussion here about the pinch runner. So we're trying to work out the change. And the pinch runner is going to be number 14, Van Haney. He's heading over to first. So just 1 out, 2 runners on. Slater Scow due up first, followed by Tyler Gardner on deck, as the Vikings look to break the tie.
Now running first base for the Vikings, number 14, Van Haney.
Scow flew out to left field on a low line drive in his first plate appearance, and then in his second. Reach base on a well-hit ball into right field, and this one's going to land in shallow right field, and it can't bring in a run for the Vikings because of the placement into shallow right field. It was a great throw by Gavin Fowler, but just like that, bases are loaded. Just 1 out for Pleasant Grove off the big base hit from Scow.
The first baseman, number 9, Tyler Gardner.
So Tyler Gardner now due up with the bases loaded. Looks like they're going to have a... Actually, it looks like it'll be a pinch hitter, as we'll see an infield meeting for the Falcons. So Gardner struck out in his 2 plate appearances, so Vikings decide to make a change, and they're going to bring in Brock Robinson. So Coach Henry making a change for his team. Decides to roll with Robinson, the junior, 5'10", 160. The base is loaded and just 1 out's coming on. So we said the base is loaded up now. We wait for Robinson. Take his first at bat. Gardner struck out his 2 previous plate appearances. Still just 1 out in the inning.
Robinson.
Robinson. Let's strike 1 through. Robinson hasn't driven in any runs on the season, no doubles, home runs, any of that category. The bunt is the easy force out at home, and nearly got the double play over to first in time, but a good decision that time from Johansson to take the force out at home. And because he did that, he was able to retire Christensen, or excuse me, his pinch runner, who was Rex Harward, at home plate. So the bases remain loaded. Robinson over at first now. Haney at second. 2 outs now, though, as we reset the count. Gabe McCoy struck out in his 2 previous plate appearances, and he puts the ball in play, but the Falcons able to get out of it. Fielded cleanly by Isaac Johansson at short, who gets it over to Ty Evans. He covered up second, and the force out is successful. So the Falcons once again leave Vikings stranded on base. It was 3 left on in total, and now they'll be at the bats looking to break our tie. We'll see if Skyridge can take advantage of it when we return on KSL Sports Rewind.
Okay. Okay. Yung kapalawa din siya akit sa kapatid siya na biyalawa kung ginodala.
Back here inside UCCU Ballpark, the Vikings just let a great opportunity slip away. Some great plays made by the Falcons defense, though, and we'll see if they can finally convert it into awesome offense as we still remain tied at 0 in the bottom of the 6th. Due up for Skyridge.
Correction, batter number 23, Dalton Young.
Is going to be Dalton Young for the second time today. He struck out the 2 previous times we saw him. Currently ahead in the count, 2-0, facing off against Braden Marks. Both pitchers overall have shown a little bit signs of just maybe getting tired a little bit or haven't been as strong as their early start. See a late time called by Dalton Young. Mentioned Young with those 2 strikeouts, but all it takes is one play. And if the Falcons are able to score here and then hold on defensively in the top of the 7th, that would do it for our first game, and they'd be able to advance. But they got to score a run first. Young thought about swinging, pulled back, and they'll say he went. Huge frustrations by the Falcons as they feel that he did pull back. From my vantage point, I thought he might have gone just enough, so I am okay with that call from umpires, but the Falcons faithful in disbelief. 2-1 the count. We'll go 3-1 there. Marks has yet to walk, walked one batter. That was Mason Thompson, but that was back in the bottom of the 3rd. Hasn't walked anyone since. And Young able to head over to first on the walk. So no outs in the inning. Falcons have a runner on base.
Number 6, Cruz Shank.
So Young with the walk. That'll bring up Cruz Sheck. Last time we saw Shank struck out in his first plate appearance, and before that grounded out to second to leave 2 runners stranded on base. He showed bunt but pulled back. Both sides just desperate for a run. The Falcons, the top seed, the Vikings, the 8th seed, both battling it out, trying to advance to our winner's bracket. The bunt attempt, fielded cleanly, going to be an opportunity for the double play. If the Vikings can make it, and they won't be able to make it in time, but they are able to retire Young at second. Great job by Marks that time on the mound, recognizing the situation, able to get the force out at second, and they nearly had it at first too. Isaac Johansson now due up. Johansson, his first plate appearance, struck out, and before and after that, flew out in the left field.
The shortstop, number 5, Isaac Johansson.
Johansson, the shortstop, make a play for his team with Sheck on first, and Sheck's going for it on second, and the throw is a little to the outside, so that allows Sheck to slide in safely at second. Oh, but there was apparently something that happened before. I didn't quite catch whatever it was, but either way, they'll send Sheck back to first. See the Falcons talking things over now as they disagree with the call. Coach Roberts not happy. It's the Skyridge team that, of course, won the 2022 Football State Championship. Looking to bring some more hardware to their well-accomplished program. Johansson takes a hack, gets nothing. Goes to 0-1 in the count. Marks checked down to first. And now is dialed in to the batter's box as he's delivered 2 strikes at blistering speed. Johansson looking to avoid being retired for the 3rd straight time today. The Falcons' high, potent offense has been shut down time and time again as this pickoff attempt unsuccessful. And that time, just a great job by Shao over at short, just able to knock it down. So now Sheck on second. They have 2 outs in the inning currently. I thought there was only 1 because I believe Dalton Young was our first batter. Young was able to walk and then he was retired. So I do think there's only just 1 out right now, even though our, which is what we have on our screen, but our outfield scoreboard shows that there's currently 2 outs at the moment. So I think there's a little bit of a miscommunication going on right now. Johansson 2-2 in the count. Or excuse me, Johansson was retired actually. That's what the whole confusion was last time. So it's actually Ball who's 2-2 at the moment. Ball last time we saw him had a base hit, but this time goes down swinging. Once again, Braden Marks able to get the best of the opposing pitcher. So we are headed to the 7th. No runs scored in the 6th. One of these teams is going to claim a walk-off victory potentially. Will it be the Falcons or the Vikings? Stay with us at UCCU Ballpark on KSL Sports Rewind to find out.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Falcons decided to make a change on the mound and instantly being hit, but quickly being retired. That time is R.J. Wilson. Or excuse me, it was actually Jacob Baxter. So Baxter makes contact instantly, but is retired after. And the R.J. Wilson now due up. Last time I saw Wilson, he was hit by a pitch by Ball, but as we mentioned, Ball's day is over, at least his day is over, but he had an outstanding day so far overall. He had 10 strikeouts through 4 innings in total. I believe he ended with 12 through 6, and now in 7th, they decided to turn things over to the freshman Murphy Dunn on the mound for the Falcons. Wilson rips one into right field, and it takes a bounce before it reaches Bauer out there. So base hit for the Vikings as they got a base runner on now. Wilson, his second base hit of the day. I believe the only batter with 2 base hits so far. Bring up the catcher to a Wolfgram. Wolfgram struck out in his previous 2 plate appearances, or excuse me, his first 2, and then flew out down to first on a short pop-up. The count. Outside delivery there makes the count go to 2-0. Dunn Delivers a strike, so makes the count go to 2-1. Tying run on first in Wilson, leading run on first in Wilson. The Vikings with 7 hits to just 2 for the Falcons. But the Falcons, a few timely defensive plays have allowed them to remain, to keep this one tied up. Could be heading for extra innings if either side is able to score. We just need 15 minutes between games, so we could still be on track for our second game between Mountain Ridge and Bingham, scheduled for 1:30. 2-2 the count. Pick off to first, unsuccessful. Falcons trusting a freshman in a big moment. We'll see how he responds. Dunn, the delivery. And Wolfgram. It's a well-fielded ground ball opportunity to turn to for Skyridge. They won't be able to do it, but they're able to retire Wilson at second. So Wilson retired at second. Wolfgram made it to first, though, so still one base runner on. See the Falcons talking things over with Coach Roberts. So Scow on deck, Christensen in the hole, and Zamboni in the hole. Scow now due up, and Christensen on deck. So we'll see our 3 umpires coming together. Not sure exactly what the complaint is at the moment, but Pleasant Grove still with a strong opportunity with a runner on base, even though there are 2 outs in the inning currently, to break the tie. Mention just takes that one big play, and the Falcons will be looking to make it. Just about 2 hours into this one now. A reminder, the winner of this game will be in action at 7 o'clock tomorrow, taking on the winner of our following game. So if you're curious to who your team is going to play, regardless of the outcome, stick around, because the loser of this game will also be in action at 1:30 tomorrow. So the call stands.
Now batting the shortstop, number 5, Riker Scow.
Riker Scow will be due up. Scow allows the first ball to pass. Johansson lost it for a moment, flipped off his helmet, was able to recollect it. One of the count. Scow fouls it back, brings the count to 1-1. It's been a good battle between the Vikings and Falcons. Still scoreless through 6, as this pitching duel has been exceptional. It'll be interesting to see. We saw Marks go so far in this one. Now it'll be interesting to see if they decide to turn over to a relief pitcher, as the Falcons did, rolling out Dunn. Scow lets the low ball pass. Scow did reach base in his first plate appearance on a well-hit ground ball into left field, and then struck out in his second plate appearance, and in his third was retired at first on a chopper. Strike 2 delivered, so 2-2 the count. The freshman Dunn going to retire Scow. Scow, the junior, awaits the delivery. 2-2 the count. Ball flew in the dirt, but was fielded cleanly. So Coach Roberts making a few calls out to his infield, telling them how they want to play this. The full count delivery in our tie game. This could be a base hit for Scow. Long throw, makes it over to first. Wow! Johansson at shortstop. Isaac Johansson rifles it across his body, makes it over to first, and once again, they force the Vikings to leave a runner stranded on base. Bottom of the 7th. Skyridge with one last opportunity to score a run and win this one, or we're headed to extras. Stay with us. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Braden Marks has been so strong on the mound for Pleasant Grove so far today. He's just 3 more outs to force extra innings here as the Vikings were unable to score in their 7 opportunities. And the Falcons, they haven't been able to score in their 6 opportunities they've had so far. They're down to their final 3 outs if they want to end this one early. It'll be Ike Pickle, Ty Evans, and Gavin Bauer all due up. Mark's so strong so far today. We'll see if he can finish it out. He retired ball in his last appearance via the strikeout. Finds his zone once again for strike 1. Marks 1-1 the count. One, 2 the count. He's got 10 strikeouts overall on the day. Currently 2-2 in the count. Falcons need just 1 run to claim the walk-off victory here in the bottom of the 7th. The top-seeded Falcons looking to advance against the 8th-seeded Pleasant Grove Vikings. Pickle. Wisely doesn't swing on that one, brings us to full count. Pickle calls for a time. He struck out the last 2 times we saw him. Marks just outside on the delivery. Saw the Vikings fans not happy because it looked like our home plate umpire had thought about calling strike 3 there, but instead thought about it a little bit more and decided it was a ball. So the walk for Pickle, no outs, and the game-winning run currently on first. Evans now due up. Evans struck out in his first plate appearance. He's retired in his second as well. Evans shows bunt, pulled back. Marks has only given up 2 hits to the highest scoring offense in Region 4 so far today. We do see some activity going on in the bullpen, and there's reason for it because this is a base hit. It's ripped into right field, and Pickle's going to be forced to hold up on third, but with no outs in the inning, Skyridge in strong position to score what would be a walk-off victory. Big base hit from Evans on the line drive into right field. So Pickle the third, Evans at first. Vikings thinking about making a change. Looks like they're talking about it right now. As they talk things over on the mound, we saw the Falcons decide to make the switch to Dunn, and it paid out well. Marks has been so strong for most of today. He gives up a big base hit there. At the moment, it looks like they're just going to talk things over. Coach Roberts and his squad talking things over as well. So runners on first and third now. Still no outs in the inning. Any ball hit into the outfield would allow Pickle to score. And in some scenario, Pickle was retired. Evans still on first. So the top seed in our tournament struggled so much offensively on the day. Now in a great position for the walk-off victory in the bottom of the 7th. Evans, the second baseman, returns to first. Pickle, the shortstop, now after ball was removed from the mound. Started the day at third, but now Pickle shifted to short. Currently situated at third. How big was his walk? The bunt attempt goes straight up in the air and into foul territory. Gavin Bauer struck out the last time we saw him. Before that was retired at first on a chopper. We'll reset and do it again. Bauer looking to blast one and be the hero in the first game at UVU for the Falcons. He fouls it off into right field. Kelly's looking to just get a hold of it. All it takes is that one run and the Falcons know it. Marks so many strikeouts today. He's ahead in the count. 0-2 right now. Looking for his 11th here. Bauer goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the day for Bauer, and one of the biggest plays we've seen from Marks. He's going to need 2 more, or at least just 1 more to eliminate the sacrifice fly. Mason Thompson, the designated hitter, now drew up, was retired the last time we saw him on the drop 3 strikeout. And before that, walk to first. 1 out in the inning. Pickle at third, Evans at second. Thompson grounds the first. Thompson on the seasons drove in 18 runs. This could be the biggest of the year to advance the Falcons in the winner's bracket and seal the deal with a victory. 0-1 the count. Thompson allows the high pitch to pass. It's a foot race, diving for home plate. Did he get there? They'll say he got the out. Wow! What a turn of events for Skyridge. It looked like it was going to be a disaster for the Vikings. So Pickle tried to go home, and it was a very close call. But what a play made by Marks to get the out. So 2 outs now. The count 1-1. Still a runner firmly in scoring position because amongst all that chaos, Evans headed over to third. What a play. First by Wolfgram to get under it and recover it at the back of the wall here at UCCU Ballpark. And then to get the tag out just in time, Marks able to retire Pickle right before he could touch home plate, a split second in fact. 1-1 the count. Vikings looking to send this one in extras. What a great first game it's been here. Thompson allows the high delivery to pass. He's already walked once today. It was the first walk surrendered by Marks. Falcons were in great position to close this one out. Count now at 2-1. Thompson allows another high delivery through. It's now heading the count 3-1. Braden Marks looks to find strike zone. No one warming up anymore in the bullpen for Pleasant Grove. The game firmly in the hands of Braden Marks. Still only surrendered 3 hits on the day. Looking to send this one into extras. And a high delivery. And wisely deciding to hold up that time was Evans. I'm sure he was tempted, but didn't want to risk it. Thompson, the second walk of the day for him. He's over on first now. Bring up Chase Youngberg, the first hit of the day, and that will finally do it for Braden Marks. What a strong performance it was by him overall. Only allowed 3 hits in total, gave up no runs, and the play of the day to save the game with the tag out at home. Vikings faithful in early to applaud. Just a few too many wild pitches. The Vikings coaches probably felt like. And everyone for Pleasant Grove on their feet cheering him on. As the new pitchers coming in for Pleasant Grove. We'll tell you all about him when we return on KSL Sports Rewind.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Pleasant Grove decided to make a change on the mound. Out is Braden Marks, and in is Hudson Banks, the junior, the 6'5", 220-pound pitcher. Just needs 1 out to send this one into extras. Our second game will be slightly delayed between Mountain Ridge Sentinels and Bingham Miners just because of the length of this one early on, but depending on when this game ends, that's to let you know and keep you posted on what that delay will end up being. Chase Youngberg had the first hit of the day for Skyridge. If he could get a base hit here, would more than likely be the last one they would need to clinch a Game 1 victory. As I mentioned, Youngberg ripped one into right field in his first plate appearance, and the second grounded out to first. Now set to be the first Falcon, potentially the last, to face off against Hudson Banks. Thompson over on first. First delivery just to the outside for ball one. Ty Evans, the one who put Pickle in that prominent scoring position with no outs, currently settled in at third. Top of the order for the Falcons, due up on deck. Back-to-back high deliveries for balls. Banks in danger of loading the bases. It's Dalton Young on deck, leadoff hitter for Skyridge. Youngberg takes a swing, gets nothing. Strike number one. Two on the count. Vikings looking to force extras and then complete the upset. Falcons looking to advance. Youngberg calls timeout, steps out to reset. Two on the count. Youngberg fouls it off. Count now goes to 2-2. Banks, the junior relief pitcher, looking to close this one out, at least in regulation. Then he'd have to bat at least one more time in extras, or face off against batters at least one more time in extras. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on base, and the winning run on third. Youngberg fouls it off. Thompson decided to head over to second, but was forced to head back on the foul off. Vikings not concerned with him stealing second. Their priority is to retire Youngberg and thus force extra innings. Hudson Banks 1 pitch away from doing it for the Vikings and sending this one in extras. They did decide to send Thompson, but a wise decision made not to throw it by Banks, as he's able to force Evans to stay settled in at third. The 2-2 delivery, we're finally set for it. Youngberg. And he goes down swinging. Hudson Banks steps up to the mound and gets it done for the Vikings. We're going into extra innings. 7 wasn't enough to decide it, as neither side was able to score a run. What a performance late by the Vikings defense. There were no outs and a runner on third, and they get out of it giving up nothing. 8th inning on deck on KSL Sports Rewind.
You ain't on my level, then shoot, I can't die. Cause I'm chilling too, don't be allowed.
Top of the 8th, set to get underway. As Pleasant Grove is due back up. Tanner Christensen due back up. It'll be Christensen, Zamboni, and Scow. All looking to send the Vikings into advancement in the winner's bracket. Strike one delivered that time. For Skyridge. Still Murphy Dunn, the freshman, situated on the mound, was really sharp in relief of Ball, who absolutely dominated. That was the story early on in this game, was just the pitching performance we saw from both sides. This one launched straight up in the air, called for, and collected by Isaac Johansson at shortstop. Hayden Zamboni, the DH, 2 strikeouts in his first 2 plate appearances and a walk. In fact, Zamboni's first strikeout, he left 2 runners on base. One of them was on third. It kind of foreshadowing basically what was to come, as of course we had that huge sequence that just played out where Falcons had no outs and a runner on third, and they weren't able to score him. They had the situation where, of course, it was Pickle who tried to steal home but was tagged out. Arguably the play of the day made by Braden Marks, who's made so many great ones with numerous strikeouts on the mound. 1-1 the count with 1 out. Zamboni allows a strike through. So count now at 2-1. Zamboni fouls it off to stay alive against the freshman Murphy Dunn. This Vikings team that's fought hard all season. This one launched into left field. It'll stay fair. It's going to reach the fence. Young gets to it, but able to stretch it into a double as he slides in the second is Hayden Zamboni, the DH. Comes up big for the Vikings, their biggest base hit of the day. No one warming up in the bullpen for the Falcons. Vikings initially had bodies in that position, but took them out. Dunn was rocked, so it's going to lead to a meeting on the mound. The leading run now at second. Still the lone out. Slater Shao. Now due up in a moment. And we'll see if Brock Robinson, who's the pinch hitter for Tyler Gardner the last time, will be on deck. And Gabe McCoy in the hole currently. We're going to have a pinch runner going to second, actually. That pinch runner is going to be Crew Fox. Vikings have used a lot of pinch runners today. Falcons have not. Fox, the junior, 5'3", 140 pounds. Coach Henry trusting him in a key situation. I said earlier, the coaching battle's been fun today too between Coach Henry and Roberts. 2 long tenured and both very successful coaches for their respective programs. Just 1 out in the inning. Although we saw even with no outs, if you get a runner to third, still not safe. Just approaching it 2.5 hours into this one now. You are tuning in about our Mountain Ridge Bingham game that's supposed to be due on deck. That one will be played about 15 to 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Scow thought about swinging at it, but pulled back. 0-1 the count. Scow in his first plate appearance was retired at second on a low line drive. Then his 2 previous plate appearances had base hits after he smacked one into left field, and then in a line drive that allowed him to load the bases in his previous at-bat. Takes a big hack, gets nothing there. 0-2 the count now. That delivery squeezed past Johansson. Able to slide in safely to third is Fox. Fox took advantage of the chaos. Now with the 1-2 count, just one out. Vikings in a strong position to take the first lead of the game. Dunn delivers the pitch. And he's able to retire Scow. So Scow goes down swinging, first strikeout of the day for Dunn, and it comes at a huge time as there's now 2 outs in the inning.
Playing first base, number 3, Brock Robinson.
Brock Robinson, last time we saw Robinson, he had a bunt. It allowed him to reach first, but his teammate was tagged out at home, preventing the Vikings from taking the lead in this one. Robinson thought about swinging at it, but pulled back. It was ball 1. Robinson took a hack, got nothing. 1-1 the count now. Strike number 2 delivered by Murphy. Skyridge trying to get a little bit of revenge and force the Vikings to leave a runner stranded on base. Robinson is retired. Dunn, the freshman, looking like a senior, stepping up big time on the mound for his squad. Skyridge at the bats when we return. If they score, it'll end it at 8. Stay with us to find out if they can do it on KSL Sports Rewind.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Hudson Banks still on the mound for Pleasant Grove, as they'll need 3 outs to get back on the offensive. They've had 8 opportunities to bat, scoreless in all 8. They've had 8 hits overall. But you know who else has been scoreless in their 7? That's the Skyridge Falcons. They let a great opportunity slip through their hands in that bottom of the 7th, and they know it, no doubt eager to get up to bat, and no doubt motivated too by what they just saw from true freshman Murphy Dunn, who delivered back-to-back strikeouts to get his team out of it and force the Vikings to leave a runner stranded on base. And a runner in firmly scoring position too on third. Dalton Young, Krushek, and Isaac Johansson, the top of the order for Skyridge, due up. Young makes instant contact, but launches it into foul territory in his first at-bat. Banks came in and got that huge crucial out on Chase Youngberg. Pickle being caught stealing at home was a huge turn of events, as we could have been probably 5 minutes away from starting our next game if it wasn't for the play made. First, it was by Braden Marks, who overthrew, who had a high delivery on the wild pitch, but then he came over to cover home just in time, and his quick hands got the tag out. 2-0 the count. Young fouls it off. It's been a crazy season of baseball here in the state of Utah with the weather delays, the rain delays we've had, battling snow. It's been quite the inclement weather, but beautiful day today. Wind whistling a little bit out in the field. 0-2 the count. Young Launches one into left field. Calling for it, going back, giving chase, unable to track it. Takes a bounce before it reaches the fence, and it'll be a double for Dalton Young as Christensen out in left field was unable to locate it. But even if he had, I'm not sure he would have been able to get to it. Huge hit from Young, who was 0-2 in the count before that. Booming shot into left field. Young with a huge double. Kruschek now due up with Isaac Johansson in the hole. Young before that had 2 strikeouts and a walk, but at the biggest base hit of the day by the leadoff hitter for the Falcons. It looked like some kids were playing catch in the outfield and had unintentionally thrown a ball into the field. So that was what our brief delay is at a moment as we see our third base umpire come jogging back over after tossing it up. So no outs. The winning run, the walk-off winning run. And Dalton Young now situated on second with Kruschek now due up. Last time we saw him, he made it to first on a fielder's choice. Before that was retired at second and left 2 on base. He's got an opportunity to win the game here if he could get a booming hit. Also struck out in his first appearance. The center fielder looking to launch one into that territory and bring in Young. First delivery by Hudson Banks just to the outside. Count at 1-2. This one lifted into shallow right field. They're sending Young home, and Young flying in. He's going to make it. Falcons are going to take it. Wow, what a performance. And the big-time walk-off hit from Kruschek. Skyridge takes the 1-0 victory. What a performance from both sides defensively. It was a pitching duel all the way. But in the end, 2 big hits, first by Dalton Young and then one by Kruschek. Sending to shallow right field, ended up being the difference. The first and only RBI of the day ends up giving the top-seeded Falcons the victory and allows them to advance in our winner's bracket. As for Pleasant Grove, they will shift into the loser's side of the bracket. So Pleasant Grove will take on the loser of the Mountain Ridge Bingham game, our 5-13 game. That's due up momentarily. But once again, Pleasant Grove will be due up at 1:30 tomorrow. And Skyridge will be in action at 7 o'clock, taking on the winner of that Mountain Ridge Bingham game. What a performance we saw on the mound from Braden Marks and, of course, from Tyler Ball. Both went the distance. We saw some big pitching from Dunn, too, and then late some big pitching from Hudson Banks. But in the end, it's the big hits from Dalton Young and Kruschek late in the bottom of the 8th that are the difference as the Falcons win it 1-0. That is going to do it for our first game. We expect our game between Mountain Ridge and Bingham, our 5-13 game, to get underway about 15 to 20 minutes from right now, so make sure you guys join us once again on KSL Sports Rewind for that one. But your final in this one, in walk-off victory fashion, the top-seeded Skyridge Falcons take it over the Pleasant Grove Vikings 1-0. You've been watching KSL Sports Rewind.